Hi everybody, this is Teri from Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and the Junk Journal and Paper Crafts Facebook group. We also have the new Sweet Pea Papers YouTube membership, and that gets you a discount at the shop and some live video replays that you can't get unless you're a member. Now, this is the Letters from the Attic and the Letters from the Attic add-on by Sunflowers and Doors. This is my design team project for the month of July/August, the end of July, maybe the beginning of August. And the first video, this is video 2, the first video we put together these 3 or 4 things, and today we're gonna put together some more things, and then tomorrow we're gonna start with the journals, or the journal, the signatures. Okay, first I wanted to show you, I printed an extra copy with the tan on the back, or the brown on the back, of these papers to use for flips, belly bands, things like that. Sorry, my voice is shaky today. I have that problem sometimes. I really like this one. I love the collages. That's why I printed them again. And I love this backing paper as well. And these 2 collages. So I printed an extra copy of those for that. I wanted to show you real quick. I know some of you shop at Temu and some of you don't. I do, because of the really cheap stuff that I can get there. Some of the stuff does have the $2.99 shipping, but this washi didn't. I got this really cool, it has this writing on it. Oh, it's got a piece of tape. Keeping me from sliding it out. Oh, sure. Cut myself in the stomach, why don't I? Maybe I'll redirect that blade. All I did was cut the box. There we go. Now Oz wants to go potty again. Oh, it's not going to go without this one too. Duh. Okay. Now this is thin, but it's thicker than the other thin one I got. And look at these. Aren't they awesome? They're going to work really well with our project. That's why I'm showing them to you. And this one is taped as well. I don't remember my other ones that I got being taped, but that's okay. Okay, and these are thin, and there's 20 of them in here. And look how well these are going to work with our project. There's one in there that looks like a ruler. So make sure to pick that one. This is the vintage. This is the handwritten text. I'm pretty sure there's no brand on here in English, but just go through the washi and you'll find them for a couple bucks each. This one was almost cheaper than this one. So I wanted to show you that real quick. I got this corner punch for tags, and I got this combo punch. Look how big it is. And look, it puts the hole in, that wide hole for ribbons. It puts the little hole in, or it punches the outside. I'm not sure which one. I think it punches the center hole because that's the part that's dark. And then it also cuts corners, and then it makes flags. So that's pretty cool. And there's measurements here for how wide, and there's center markings so that you know you're pushed it in to the center when you're pushing your papers in. So I got those 2. And I got this washi that looks like rulers. Okay. I don't know why that looks like it's stopping and not stopping and starting, but lagging. I got this for backing stuff. It's paper. It doesn't look yellow on camera, but it looks more yellow in person. It might be because the layers are all together and it looks darker than cream, but I ordered the cream color. And it's one piece, M-I-S-E, second word, W-A-N-G-G-E. Now, I know that this is normally called raffia, but I'm not really sure what they call it on here. It doesn't seem, I don't know. Anyway, this is actually 28 by 275 centimeters. So it's pretty big. You can see how big around it is. And then I got these labels. I got 333 labels. What is wrong with my camera? I'll have to play this video back. I hope it isn't bad because we're going to do quite a few things. Let me get some of this out of the way. Whoops. I want to keep the washi down here. I don't know if we're going to use the ruler washi, but we're definitely going to get the Rapida out of the way. So we got these things done, and I put the tab on while we were gone. Oops, that was my watch. And today's projects, these are just the duplicates. Today's project is going to be a hidden notepad. We're going to do this envelope, and like I told you before, I already cut it out and put the acetate on it because we covered that yesterday. This is a pocket that's freestanding. This is a freestanding tag with this long tuck on the back. And this is a folio with inside pockets. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, we're going to do this first because it takes just a smidge to get it done. I'm going to cut this up here, and that will be what we glue to the page, and then we'll pull the notebook out, okay, from the bottom. Man, that really looks like it's kind of not catching up to the video frame rate. I'm sorry if it comes out that way. So I'm going to cut it at the widest part. There's a notch there. Well, there is on one side. I cut it crooked, I guess. Oh, here, I'll use those little scrolly things as a guide. Okay, now this is what we're going to glue to the page. And it will have the notebook glued to the back of it. And this will be... Actually, that's not the way we do it. Which way do I want to do it? You can do it either way. But usually we'll glue this down. And then, how am I going to pull this out? Let me look at my other one that I did. That's crazy. How can I not remember how to do it? If you put them at the bottom, I should have put it at the bottom, but I'm not going to fussy cut that again. You just pull the paper, this off, and the notebook is up here. Or you pull this up by making this a pocket. Duh! I don't know. I have no idea why. I had a brain freeze on that. I better put this away or I'm going to cut myself. I know I will. Okay, so let's go back to our music paper, a tissue paper, just one. It's like a scrappy notebook. And let's see if I've got cream colored paper scraps. I know I do. Yeah. Okay, so we'll make them fit. Narrower than this, okay? So you're going to need it narrower than the narrowest part, which is here. So you're going to want to measure, let's measure using the more firm one. It'll be a little bit easier. Even though this is wider, you need to make it as narrow as your narrowest part. I'm a little bit in because it's going to be glued as a pocket. Okay. So then take your pencil, and here's your narrowest part, and then go a little bit in. Yeah, and that'll be the edge because I pushed it in. So let's cut this first, the width, and we'll double check it. And then, since this is the firmer paper, we can use it as a guide for cutting the other papers, okay? So now you've got to make this to where you've got enough space up here. You're going to put one staple on, and then you're going to glue it to the back of this. Okay, let's double check that it's going to fit inside here. Okay, it will. Let's erase my little pencil mark. Now we want to put it on here, like I said, and then put it behind here. So it's okay if it's just a smidge short. That's our length. Once we staple and glue behind. Okay, so now we're going to use, this is our guide for our tissue paper. Tissue paper is already the right length. That's nice. Let me do it on top and bottom, and then I can aim for a straight line. A little bit narrower, because we're going to make kind of a scrappy notebook. It's only going to have 3 pages because it's got to fit in this pocket, right? We're not just putting it in a bigger pocket. So let me see if I can cut this in some sort of a straight line. Maybe I'll have them all the same size or close to it. Can't even aim from one line to the other. I'm so goofy. And then we'll do the music paper. Let me do the length. Oops. Erase that. Wow. Let me turn my watch around. It's getting noisy. This is a men's watch, but I love it. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I usually talk to my friend on Thursdays, starting at around 6 a.m. to 11. That's when she goes into work. What am I throwing that away for? But today I'm going to make a video with you guys first. Remember how brittle this is. So I'm probably going to have to do, come on up. It's not going to come like up to fold it first. So I'm just going to have to piece it off of here. In fact, I can just use my fingernail. Look at that. That gives us a little bit of a rough edge. So we've got almost our 3 pages. Well, my voice isn't shivery, it's all gruff. I'm being gruff with you guys, so you make sure to do it right. Okay. How did I manage? Oh. We're going to do, is this the length? Yes. Okay, so let's do the width. A little bit narrower than the tissue paper, because I'm going to put the tissue paper on top of it. So we'll make this our backing paper, this our middle paper, and this our top paper, so we can see our our music page. We're going to ink it, and I need to ink that crazy thing. But I can ink it later because I haven't glued it on the page yet. Because I don't have, you know, like we haven't made our journal already. So this is going to be on the bottom. So let's ink. Well, we're going to ink both sides of everything. I don't know if I can ink that music paper or not without it breaking. Let me try it. I ink kind of hard. Let me see if I can do it this way. Make it look even older than it is. Yeah, that's working. Wow, this paper's so brittle, I'm surprised this isn't breaking it more. I like that color. So we'll have to remember that no matter what color we're using for our project, this gathered twigs makes a nice aged look on a music paper. Well, this is out of a book, so it's tan. And it's very, very brittle. So I'm not pushing down very hard at all. And I'm still getting ink on the page. So let's just go down here real quick. Let's get our corner. Get our corner here a little bit darker. And we'll do this. And of course we can't ink this. I mean, we might be able to, but I don't want to. If I had some coffee dyed tissue paper, which I can do because I spray mine and let it dry on the floor inside. I have an apartment with no sun on my porch. So I have to do everything inside. Let's put the music paper right side up. Well, I could have just stapled the other end, I guess. So we've got this. Come on now. Okay, just take your little stapler that puts out the little staples. I guess your tiny attacher, which I think is a stupid name. Sorry, Tim. Okay, and then we're going to glue this on the back of here so that when we pull it out, it pulls out of this pocket. Well, we're going to make a pocket out of it when we do put it on the page, okay? So all you're going to have to do is glue along this outside edge. And you really don't have to glue along the bottom because the paper is not going to go in any farther. But it is a good idea to glue at the bottom in case you decide to put something else behind. I don't know why you would do that, but okay, let's put glue across our little notebook. Let's put it on here. And let's make sure we've got it centered and straight. Okay? Otherwise, it may not come out. Okay? Oh, shoot. I guess I should have waited. Now it's crooked. It was straight before. Okay, I'm using this little roll image to put in the center over that note. Give it just a second to dry. Or not dry, but this is almost coming off, this little point. So I'm going to have to be careful with that. And definitely needs inking. I didn't cut it very well because I knew I was going to ink it. Well, I didn't not cut it very well on purpose. But right, so this is shorter. I'm going to hold on to it so that it doesn't come loose with the glue. So we need to cut this shorter than this. It's too long. I wonder if we can tear all 3 pages with my tear ruler. Where'd my tear ruler go? Well, isn't that interesting? There. So let's tear it off here. No, 3 is too many. Let's do these top 2, and then we'll flip it over and do the back one. Yeah. Or we don't need to flip it over. Now we're going to have to re-ink the bottom. I don't know why I didn't check it. Now let's flip it over and make sure it's not too close to the bottom where you're going to glue. I don't know. We might should have done it a little bit shorter, but I'll take care of that off camera. So I'm not going to ink this, but you need to re-ink these 2 front and back. Okay, because you've torn them off. And I think they need to be just a smidge shorter. Okay, and then you just glue this to the page as a pocket, and then put this in your pocket. All right, I made it crooked when I tore it. There we go. What, did you come off the staple? Or did it just glue down? Looks like it glued crooked. And that was my fault for pulling on it to tear it off. So I'm going to wait and glue this back on once I'm just going to cut it. That's short enough. Put these in there. You never know. I've started saving scraps. My friend is so proud of me. I never saved scraps before. I just started over with a new paper. I made it scrappy if I needed to. Okay, staple over the center thingy. Let's make our notebook straight. Hold your tissue paper so it doesn't really pull. And then just kind of do like this. I think that's going to be good. Put that there. But not while the glue is wet. All right, so we can just paper clip this to the back for right now. Then you'll glue this to the page. Did we ink this? No. Oh, I wasn't going to because it's so curly and I have to Oh, I don't have to redo anything. Okay, I'll have to remember that I need to ink that. Pushed all these out of the way. Remember, we've got little tags, right? Little bitty tags, objects that we've cut out. Just circles and, oh, these are tiny tags. They're labels, kind of, but they're tags. Tabs, with a B. We can stack these like this and save some space. And then I've got my tags with a G. Okay? These are our completed projects. This is one I still need to work on. And I can, well, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to. Okay. So now, let me show you how to fold this. There's no lines on the back. Here's the card. So we need to ink both. I could have pre-inked them, but I'm not going to ink things until I use them. I did have to pre-ink this once I cut it out. Look at that cutting job. Yay, me! Because I needed to put the acetate on. I don't know if you can see that it has acetate. And, oh, what happened to my mouse? My mouse is gone. Oh, this is bad. I don't know how to stop the video. Well, I'll figure it out later. That's really bad because we did that scrappy thing. I don't want to print that out and cut it out again. We're going to take our scoreboard and you're just going to score along this rectangle once you ink everything. Get in there. Can't see this morning. I don't know how I'm going to stop the video. A command window opened up and my mouse stopped working because of it. Because it's Bluetooth. See if that helps. There it is. I'll bring that to the front. I hope it's still recording. Yep. All right, so let's get the scoreboard out. This is a Fisker's paper trimmer that I put the scoreboard attachment onto, and I use it as my scoreboard instead of using a regular scoreboard because I never could get those straight. You know what I mean? This one's got a little wire in it, which I really like. It makes it much easier to follow the line. And it scores it really well. I do it 3 times, but 2 times, you know, there and back would probably work. Just have to lift it up sometimes to get the little wire on the top. Sometimes if you just slide it, the little wire goes underneath. Okay. Lock up my scoreboard so everything doesn't fall apart. And then you're just going to score it. It's good to score it on the top because you should fold towards the bump. Oh, we didn't ink it. And then this card fits in this envelope. with the image in the window again, just like this one does. I'm going to pull this up a little bit so it isn't just her neck. Well, I have to squeeze it like that to get the card to go up and down, but I'm going to make it even with the end of the pocket thingy. And that brings her head up a little bit so it isn't, you know, totally cut off. All right, let's open this up. Well, let me fold this once. Let's open this up. And, oops, I need to keep that on there. This is a, let me think about it for a minute. You can use it to, it's made by Tim Holtz and comes in 8.5 by 11 pieces. I think you get 3 pieces, or you get one big roll per package. I think I have 3 of them. I think it's $12. It was back when I got it. It may be cheaper now, or it may be more. Who knows? However, why is there a notch right there? That's interesting. But all right. Yeah, not the best. Again, not the best cutting job I've ever done. I was tired. This one, I think, was one of the last ones. So this is made just like a regular envelope. I don't know why that came off. So I'm going to flip this backwards. I could have put a print on the back side. That would have been nice. I don't know why I didn't. Usually I do special for envelopes and things. And you need to ink the back of this. But you don't need to ink the backs of anything else. Okay. So remember, you're going to slide the card in the top when you get done. So let's put our glue. And we're not decorating. We can use our washi and some of the ephemera and things to decorate the front, in addition to the card being in the window. Okay. So that was easy to do. The hardest part is putting the acetate in. Okay. So just put the card in with the butterfly under the window, like so. The card's a little bit smaller, so you can put it in, and plus your glue is between here and here. It's not going to get stuck in the glue. And then there's your butterfly. And I would think you might want to put something right there. Okay? And then, you know, something over here, and maybe something on the back. You could maybe put a belly band on the back and slide a long skinny card in there. Okay, so we've got that one done. Now let's do this one. What color is that? Those are all red. So let's do a blue one on the video. These envelopes here that don't have windows are done exactly the same way, and these are just manila folder replicas or whatever. So just print kind of something on the back. I guess I could run that back through and have something more interesting on the back. You can cover this with a tab from the kit on the back, or, you know, over it, and just fold them in half. But this envelope folds the same way as the long one we just did. That's why we're not going to do it separate. We're going to do the blue long one. And the instructions are here. Print on backing paper or card for best results. Fold A at the join line. This is A when you look on the paper. With a full half-length pocket, which actually it's a half-width pocket. Glue top and bottom to the smaller piece to create a pocket. Glue smaller pieces to create a layered effect in your half-tag pocket section. Now, let me tell you a little secret to this. Here's the image that shows you what it's supposed to look like when you're done. Okay? Now, this can also be a tag in and of itself. I don't know why you couldn't you know, make it into a tag. All right, so we need to score this along that little white line. There's a little white line there. The other ones are black on the envelopes. So let's score this, and then we can fold it and ink it on the edge of our project. Okay. So let's ink this. We're still going along okay on time. Now there's a notch on the top. So that's the top of your page. And it looks like a tag at the top as well. So it's really a tag with a pocket on, or a tuck on the back is really what I would call it. Okay, let's fold it on our score line. All right, now you can ink this before or after you do it, the fold, but I would, let's ink this back before. You only have to ink the back of the tag. Let's do that. You don't have to ink the back of the pocket. Okay. And then fold it and ink your fold. And some people just run it up and down. I find that doesn't really get both sides, and plus this line is white. So I came up with it just a little bit on this side, which only makes our running pocket narrower. Okay. So you're going to glue your pocket here, here, and along this straight line, and then just fold it together. Now, you can do one of two things. You can make this stick out and put this on the back, on the pocket, or you can do it like the image shows and use it as the decoration on the cover, or the front. So we have to ink it. I didn't ink anything. I started at 4:30 this morning cutting windows and putting in acetate. So you only have to ink the front of these because you're going to be gluing them down. Or you can do what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to make the circle into a tuck and this into a little tag that's removable. So I think that's what I'm going to do. You can just glue them together if you like. So this only needs to be inked on the front. I'm just getting that white core edge off so you don't see it from the side. Okay, now if we're going to glue it on as a tuck, then we need to move it over, and let's see if that's going to work. Well, sure it will. All right, so we're going to make basically a pocket out of the circle. So let's see, let me flip it over and see where we need to go. And then you can put more decoration, you know, on it. We need to put our glue from here to here. That looks pretty straight. So let's put our glue on here. You can do this either way you want. Remember, you don't have to make a little tuck out of it, but I love making little tucks out of stuff. I think I'm addicted to it. All right, that should be right. Then you just put your card in behind. Let's see if this has glue on it. Nope. Okay. And I lined it up with the edge of this, just a smidge so you can see the inking. So now we've got that done. All you need to do is decorate. I might have to put a little more glue on this because I don't think I was holding it straight when I glued it. So I'm going to make the glue go up a little further. I didn't glue it to the center, all the way to the center. I think that's what we need, or maybe less. Yeah, we need less glue, not more. Fabri-Tac you can rub off. We just want to make it attach in a small area. If it's not going to hold the tag, then I must have put this on crooked. Yeah. You can rub it off. It'll turn into little balls, you know, of gunk. All right. So let me put my finger there. Yeah, it was off just a little bit. I just want to do part of it. Let's see if that works. I need to rub the glue off here. This is just like the one with the window. Okay, so we don't need to do this one. All right, so we'll put it up. We'll put it over there so I can do it later. Yeah, because we don't want it to stick to any glue that we put in the wrong place. Let's see if that works. Anyway, just kind of mess around with it till you get it in the right spot. Push your card in enough so that it won't, yeah, it's good now. It won't fall out. Let's put that up there with our projects completed. Then I put just this up here and that over there. And this works the same way as the pocket we just did. Okay. Put that over there. So just remember to read the instructions and you'll be fine. The instructions are not hard. There's usually, of this one, I believe there's only one in the blue kit and not one in the add-on kit. I don't see one. These are in both. So you'll have lots of them. That's why I'm only doing 2 big ones and 2 little ones. Yeah, there's one in each kit for these. Let's do a cream colored one. I'm going to get our scoreboard out again. Where am I at? 37 minutes. Okay, we should be all right doing this one and the next one. And the last one. And then we'll get them all done. What do you think about that? This one we're going to use the gussets so that we've got something to glue to. It doesn't come with a pocket that's sized to this, but there are some, tag, but there are some tags that fit pretty close to being just right. All right, you don't have to ink the 2 tabs until you fold them under. Then you need to ink them. Okay, so just ink around the whole thing at this point. I don't know if I inked the envelope right. I don't know that I inked the fold. So I'll have to go back and look. I have to go back and do things on those anyway. Ink the top of this, and you're going to ink. Let's fold this over, and then you can look and see where you need to ink. So you need to ink this top on the back, and it looks like that's all. And I wish I had printed a pattern on the back of this, but I was kind of in a hurry. I just ripped that. Let's see if I can fold it and fix it without the rip showing. Tore it a little bit right there. I can just put a piece of washi over it to fix it. You don't have to get rid of, or whoopsie, print a new one. A little bit of extra glue on there. This one doesn't look like it. Oh, it does overlap just a little bit, so I'm going to put my finger there. I should have used my not embosser, my, you know, bone folder. And then I'm going to ink this. It looks like if I, oh yeah. See, the fold is right there. So I can just trim this just after I inked it, duh. And it'll be fine. Okay, and then you're ready to go. You glue it on like this. It's like a library pocket. Personally, I think I'm going to use a paper clip with it because otherwise you lose all of that. Okay, so that's how that one folds together. And then all we have is this one. It says tagged folio with inside pockets for best results. Print on backing paper, which I did. And again, I wish I had used a pattern, but I can use ephemera to kind of gussy it up a little bit. So I'm going to pencil right now. And, oh yeah, I have to ink that. So I'll put it over here with the stuff that's not done. Here's our two pockets. We just need to score this. And now, of course, now I'm still going to have to make a bunch of this off camera. So we're not exactly done after the 2 videos, which is about an hour and a half of time, because I've got to make all the others. Now, you can do it as you go along if you like, but I think I like making them ahead of time so I know what I've got, and it helps me decide how many signatures I'm going to have. I don't want an empty signature at the end. You know what I mean? I don't want to decorate and put clip-on stuff in 3 signatures and then not have to go back and rearrange everything, so I've got stuff to put in the 4th. You can always divide them at the beginning. I guess that would be the way to go. Duh. But anyway, you know what I mean. To try to make them even is sometimes, you know, challenging. This is going to come open, so you're going to need to ink the back. And I tore that one. Wow. Really going to have to use up some of my new washi, huh? It's just very tight right there where I cut that corner in, and the paper was flipping while I was inking it because I was doing it a little too briskly. Okay, I'm going to fold this in half. Can't really see that if I trim that little fuzzy piece off because we're going to ink it. I'm going to go ahead and ink it and see how much of it I can see. Yeah, can't really see it. I can't see it from this side either. Yay, yahoo. Okay. Oh, you can see it on the inside though, obviously, can't you? And we're going to need to ink this as well because it's going to open up. And then we'll open this, and then obviously we just put the pockets in. So we don't have to glue this at all. Unless you want to cut this in half and glue it and make it a little different than this one, which is square. I may cut the corners off of that or round them, and that would make more of a library pocket. Then I would probably glue it in and lose the image on the back. We've got a bunch of ephemera and stuff, so I guess it would be all right, but not exactly my favorite thing to do. Now this pocket doesn't go the whole width, so kind of center it. Or put it on one side if you want. Just don't put it too close to the fold because it'll kind of get it hung up. So I'm going to put it a little bit above and a little bit in on each side. That's what I like about Fabri-Tac. You've got just a second, whoopsie, to kind of slide stuff around and move it. The, what is that white glue that you guys all use? Can't think of the name. I can't think of anything this morning, can I? Yeah, that glue. The bare one, the barely glue, or the other one with that little needle tip. Those kind of stick right when you stick them down. So make sure you put this one right side up. Well, the other one too, I guess. So let's glue these evenly. Okay, so there's your 2 pockets. I'm probably going to put ephemera there, but I may stencil. Like stencil on this side and put a little cluster up here. And then it just closes. And I'm going to use my bone folder. And we've got that. So we're all done with our special projects for today. And we're all done with our special projects, except for the doubles that are different colors. Okay. With all of it, we did this one too. Okay. So we did a scrappy notebook, a hidden scrappy notebook, a tag with a tuck on the back. And stick more cards or whatever in there. Let me hold this down. I never did. So I need to ink it. So we did this envelope with a window. Okay. I like to use the bone folder on these. It helps them not stick up. You can put a little piece of ephemera here. We've got some circles to hold that down. And you can decorate it, remember? You can decorate this one as well. And then we did this one with the, that opens up. I forgot what it was. I didn't check for glue. It almost stuck it together. Yay. Yay me. Okay. And then we did our, you know, specimen card. And we did our library card that you can either attach or put on as is. It's got a nice picture. Okay, so that's it for the second video. And the next video, we're going to go into making our signatures. And that'll be good. Where'd my ink pens go, or my markers go? Okay, so that's all there. I will see you in the next video. And this is second video, so it should be on a Wednesday. So the third video should be on a Friday. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.